Anyone who knocks on this door before noon better have a bloody good reason. Good morning, boss lady. Time to get up. Hungover, eh?
Oh, my head feels like an old combat boot.
There must have been some party.
It was a divine party. I liked everything about it after the second martini. Especially something British with a lot of gray going for him in the temples.
We, my dear, are broke. Unreasonable as it may seem, we've got to go to work. Now, today. I'll give you 3 before I pull the curtain. 1.
I promise to accept the next client that comes along.
Good. Because he's going to be here about noon.
Who will be here about noon?
An Oklahoma millionaire. He flew into town this morning and asked me to set up an appointment with you. Oh, come on, pull yourself together. Throw on a wig and jump into some heels.
You throw on a wig and jump into some heels. I'm going back to sleep.
2. 3.
Do you think my type is coming back?
Oh, Liz, will you please get dressed?
Very well, Viola. You are real. I'm not seeing things.
I'm sorry if I scared you. I was just peeking.
Ah, you are real.
You're not mad at me, are you?
Heavens, no. All little girls peek. Oh, what a lovely, sunny day.
Yes. I like to play in the sun and build houses in the sand. I was building my house right down there when I started to look at your house and wonder...
What kind of a person lived in that big house?
How did you know?
Well, I was a little girl once and used to peek through windows. It was my favorite game.
I like that game.
I still do.
You want to peek at my house?
Sure. Oh, my, it's very pretty. Is it colonial or Regency?
It's a castle.
Of course it's a castle. How idiotic of me. Well, if it's a castle, it must have a moat. We'll dig a moat.
Don't touch my house.
Be silly. If it's a castle, it should have a moat.
My castle hasn't got a moat.
Well, this is going to have one before I'm finished.
But I don't want a moat. It's my house.
But I don't care if it is your house. It will have a moat if I want it to have a moat.
But why must I listen to you?
Because I am a decorator.
I don't need a decorator.
Don't be absurd. Everybody needs a decorator.
Fix you some breakfast?
Breakfast. Breakfast is a meal designed for ditch diggers and drum majorettes. I, though you may have sometimes thought Au contraire, am neither. Any mail?
Dinner invitation to the Charles Boyers, cocktail party on Saturday for Harper's Bazaar, and about 37,000 bills.
What are the damages? Break it to me gently.
A king's ransom for those end-of-the-job presents you insist on giving your clients. They're supposed to pay you, you know.
Vi, I have asked you not to go into that again.
A threatening notice from Saks Fifth Avenue about one beaded evening gown, which incidentally I found lying in a heap over there on the floor this morning.
You know, I have got to get a maid.
You've got to get a job. Now that could just be the answer to all of our problems.
Not unless it's Cary Grant.
Keep our little agreement uppermost in that dissolving brain. Remember, no matter what you think of him, think money.
Howdy!
Won't you come in?
Don't tell me. I can recognize you right off the bat. You're Miss Lizzie. I saw your picture all over Time magazine under Modern Living. I'm Judge Connors from Oklahoma.
Ah, yes, Oklahoma. That's south of here, isn't it? How do you do, Judge?
It sure is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise, I'm sure. Vi has told me so little about you.
But I know all about you. Time magazine says some mighty fine things about you. They call you the status symbol of America.
Well, they're such dears over there at Time. Judge, won't you sit down? Could I offer you some coffee?
Now, I don't believe in beating around the bush, so I'll come directly to the point. I got me a little old place back home in Oil City. I'd be much obliged if you'd decorate.
Oil City.
First-class transportation, all expenses paid, finest suite of rooms at the Prairie Dog Hotel, and $10,000 for your services.
She accepts your proposal.
I knew you would.
Now, you wait just one back-slapping, hand-clapping minute. I did not accept anything.
You mean you're turning me down, Miss Lizzie?
I didn't say that either. And stop calling me Miss Lizzie.
Now, Liz, you promised.
I know. Have you been told the terms of my code?
What code you all talking about?
My client's code. There are two things to which you must agree before I will work for you. One, I am to be given carte blanche in decorating your house.
You can carte blanche or anything else your little old heart desires. More expensive, the better.
And two, I move into your house and live with you during the period of decoration.
What?
I live with you. Not that the Prairie Dog Hotel wouldn't be a little bit of heaven, but these are always my terms.
You mean you want to hole up with me and my family?
That's what I mean, partner. You see, staying in the homes of my clients makes it possible for me to get to know them and to decorate their homes to reflect their personalities. Assuming, of course, they have one.
Well, I never heard such a crackpot idea in all my born days. But if that's what it takes to get you to Oil City, then I guess I can extend my hospitality. Is it a deal?
It is a deal.
I could cry.
So could I.
Well, I better get on my horse. I gotta catch a plane in an hour for home. We'll be expecting you no later than Monday morning, Liz, you hear?
I'll be there. Bye, Judge.
Goodbye, y'all.
Bye, Judge.
Well, shut my mouth, Molly. I do believe Miss Lizzie's on her way to Dixie. So I'll just sashay on into my shift robe, put a few duds in my valise. Nothing fancy, just a cool cotton print and my big Panama hat to protect me from the merciless glare of the southern sun.
This is Oklahoma, not Georgia.
Gracious Judge, I couldn't drink another julep. I just simply couldn't drink another julep. I couldn't drink another julep, Judge Darling, or I'll be gone with the wind.
I'm not keen on you marrying my Missy Lou, 'cause, boy, you got a terrible mark on you. You're poor. That's mighty bad to be poor in a rising economy. Why, it's downright un-American.
Judge, you were poor once.
That's why you make me nervous. I can't stand poor folks.
But, Albert...
Don't cross me, Mama. Two things I can't stand, being crossed and being poor.
Daddy, once Jim marries me, he'll be rich.
That makes me more nervous.
Judge, now I hope you don't think I'm marrying your daughter for her money. Well, I wouldn't take a penny of it.
And that's another thing wrong with you, boy. You're stupid. That's enough, Mama. There's three things I just can't tolerate. Being stupid, being crossed, and being poor.
Children are in love. Yes, Daddy?
Yes, sir, Judge.
Well, I see I can't fight all three of you. So I got me a little surprise. Since I'm not going to be able to call a halt to this marriage, I decided to help you all out a bit. You know that old farmhouse out yonder? Well, as a wedding present, I hired the most expensive decorator I can find to fix it up for you.
But, Daddy, Jim and I want to find a small apartment somewhere in town. We want to live our own lives.
Yeah, that's right, Judge.
Hogwash! Your mama and I lived out yonder for years.
Don't cry, Missy.
Now that's final. I don't want to hear one more word on the subject. Now, Jim, you better be getting back to your job, boy.
Yes, sir.
Missy, I'm going to drive you and your mama downtown. I want you to try on the wedding dress I got picked out for you.
Oh, Albert, shouldn't you let her pick out her own wedding dress?
Don't argue with me, Mama. There are four things I just can't tolerate. Being crossed, being stupid, being poor, and being argued with.
Well, there it is, ma'am. The finest house in all city.
What time do Roy and Dale ride out? Thank you. Now, what do you suppose this could be?
It's a buffalo hide.
I thought it was unborn linoleum.
I sure do hate to hear what the judge is going to say when he sees what you've done.
My dear man, he has nothing to say in the matter whatsoever. He has engaged me to redo his house, and that is exactly what I'm doing.
What's going on here? What in the name of Jupiter do you think you're doing to my glorious antiques?
Hello, Judge. And you must be Mrs. Connors. I'm Liz.
It's such a great pleasure.
Thank you.
Woman, have you lost your mind?
You agreed, carte blanche.
But this is the wrong house. I hired you to do the farmhouse.
Well, what about this monstrosity?
It is my pride and joy.
Ma'am, the meter's up to $254.75.
Who in blue blazers are you?
Airport taxi. And my meter's still a-running.
Charge it. Come on, Judge. Let's take a look at the farmhouse. Give yourself a big tip and send the bill to the judge.
It was originally an old farmhouse. My wife fixed it up 30 years ago with odds and ends, mostly leftovers from our grandparents.
This must have been an utterly charming room in its day.
Then, when I struck it rich, I built a big house, and I decorated that myself.
Uh-huh.
I want you to do an expensive overhaul on this place so as I can make a big show of presenting it to my daughter and her poor boyfriend. Then I'm going to throw a big chuck wagon unveiling party so's he'll really get the picture.
I'm afraid I don't get the picture.
There's more than one way to skin a cat. You see, I don't approve of my little gal marrying that poor nobody. I got bigger plans for her than that. And once you start putting fancy ideas in her head about how to live high, wide, and handsome,
the poor boy will be so intimidated that the wedding will be called off.
now you get the picture?
Now I get the picture.
You're a shrewd gal, Liz. You're my kind of people. Oh, somebody's in for a big surprise.
Oh, you aren't just wildcatting about that, Judge. Somebody's in for one rootin' tootin' surprise.
Oh, it's so sweet.
Liz?
Perfect. Absolutely fab.
Oh, Liz, you were so right. And with the pink gloves and hat.
Great.
It couldn't be simpler or sweeter.
Oh, Liz, thank you. I'm so happy. And I just know Jim's going to be, too.
Why don't you go try it on again?
Oh, you've done so much to change things for the better, Liz. But I do admit I hate to see you change the farmhouse. Oh, don't misunderstand me. I trust your taste. It's just that...
It's just that you and the judge were so happy living there in those days.
We haven't been as happy or as close since. But he was a different man then. Oh, I wish you could have known him. So gentle and understanding.
What in tarnation is going on here?
To whom are you yelling?
I'm yelling at you, you interfering.
Watch it.
The Panhandle Department Store just called my office and said you canceled the wedding dress I picked out and advised Missy to buy some $29.95 cotton rag. She can't get married in it.
She can not only be married in it, she can wear it repeatedly afterwards, instead of packing it uselessly away in mothballs to please her pig-headed papa.
You are without a doubt the most infuriating female I have ever met in my whole life.
You are not the first person to say that, Judge.
And I've had just about enough of you and your code, living and breathing under my coattail for 2 weeks, butting into everything that don't concern you, sticking your nose in where it don't belong,
Judge, the
influencing my wife and daughter, and criticizing my extravagantly beautiful home. In short, doing everything except what I'm paying you a fortune to do.
Judge, the farmhouse is finished.
It is?
It is. The entrance is sealed with a bow and a ribbon, which are not to be cut until after your low-down, hoedown, or whatever it is you plan to throw.
A chuck wagon steak dinner.
Well, you can chuck it whenever you're ready, including tonight.
Then it'll be tonight. The sooner the better suits me.
Ditto, yours truly.
Anything to get rid of you.
And you will be rid of me right after the unveiling. For I shall be on my way to California for a glass of orange juice and psychiatrist.
Jim, my boy, since you're practically in the family, I guess it's only right you should know how much all this celebration is costing.
Daddy, please.
I can tell you it cost me a pretty penny to have this party catered on such short notice. And I bet you can't guess how much I paid to have that farmhouse remodeled. Go on, take a guess.
I'm sorry, Judge, I have no idea.
Go on, guess.
Albert.
Daddy, you're embarrassing Jim.
Don't interrupt, Missy. That's what a husband is for, to give his wife the best. Otherwise, he's not much of a man, is he, boy?
Missy, be a darling and come and help me powder my nose.
When we going up to the farmhouse?
Later.
Goodbye, Mama.
Goodbye, sugar.
Come on, Missy.
She's just going to the powder room.
Don't be frightened, Missy. I'll take care of everything at this end.
Liz, how can I ever thank you?
You already have. I only wish I were your age and doing exactly the same thing. Jim, here are your tickets and all the information you need.
Thanks, Liz. And I'll pay you back. I'm able to take care of Missy and me.
I'm sure you are. But those tickets are a wedding present from me.
Liz, tell me the truth. Do you think I'm doing the right thing?
I've missed a lot of buses in my life. Don't you miss this one. Fine. Goodbye, Jim.
Goodbye.
Eloped?
You got it, Albert.
I ought to have you put behind bars.
But Albert...
And you, her accomplice, my own wife.
But Albert...
Judge, Jim and Missy are in love.
Love? They're not even dry behind their ears yet.
We were the same age when we were married and went to live in the farmhouse.
The farmhouse, I completely forgot.
Jupiter only knows what you've done to that. Probably stole some of my original ideas.
Never. That would be criminal.
How do you get this confounded ribbon contraption loose?
Why don't you untie it? Or would you rather chew it in two?
It's like stepping into the past.
But you haven't done anything.
Our past, Albert.
I tried to make it look just like it was 30 years ago. It's been mended, scrubbed, and polished.
I didn't pay you no $10,000 just so you could play maid. Hey, what's going around here?
Here, Mabel, catch.
Well, why, these are slipper socks I crocheted for Albert 3 decades ago.
They were tucked away and forgotten. Grab a leg.
Oh.
Hey, what do you two hellions think you're doing?
Oh, Papa.
Them woolies sure feel good on my feet.
Judge, am I forgiven?
I hate to admit it, Liz, but I think I underpaid you.
Glory, hallelujah. And now, Albert, dear heart, I have a surprise for you. I always give an end-of-job gift to my clients, something that I believe is truly meant for them. This is from me to you.
Why, it's the most magnificent creation I ever saw. Does it spout real oil?
100 proof.
Next time you come to Oil City, I just might give you a chance at the big house.
Isn't that just beautiful?
It was quite unnerving having to meet your honeymooners at the terminal. All those sailors, my dear. I've never been in a bus station in my life.
And I'm little Mary Sunshine.
Hi.
Hi. How's your hateful house?
I fixed it. You want to see it?
Sure.
I gave it a mold. I decided that you were right.
Of course I was right. I'm always right.
You are?
Take it on faith. Now, If you have a moat, you must have a drawbridge.
Don't touch my house.
Don't be silly. If you have a moat, you have to have a drawbridge, for crying out loud.
But I don't want a drawbridge.
Ridiculous. Who ever heard of a moat without a drawbridge, for crying out loud? After all, I am a decorator, but I do know more about castles than you do. I know what I'm talking about, and I don't care if you do say you don't want one. You'll get me one anyway.